Hello everybody and welcome to our studio show here. It's the third round of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Europe here at Valkenswaard in the Netherlands. And yeah, it's the first one back on European soil. So my name's Paul Malin, alongside me Lisa Leyland as always. My first guest, Jeremy Seewer from Team Suzuki World MX2 alongside us already. But the holiday season is already over. The sun of Qatar and Thailand, no more I'm afraid. But Lisa, it's very, very chilly here this week, isn't it?
It's very, very chilly. It's a lot of
well,
rain, wind. Yeah, familiar territory. Yeah, I like it.
Well, look, we're going to get straight on with our studio show here this weekend. Jeremy Seewer is here. And Jeremy, 5th overall in MX2 last year, currently 2nd in the championship at the moment after 2 rounds. You must be pretty pleased with how things have started for you in 2016.
Yeah, sure. I had a really good start of the season. Actually, I wasn't feeling too good in Qatar with a cold, so I was actually surprised to still do that well and just miss the podium with a 4th. But I knew I had a really good winter, especially I like the way how Stefan works, and it helped me quite a bit. So yeah, that's why it's working so good at the moment. But it was my goal to be up front consistently. Like last year, my goal was to be in the top 5, but I had a lot of races where I struggled a bit and couldn't manage to stay with the front group. But that's my goal this year, to be there all the time and consistently. And it seems like it's working out at the moment, and that's what I'm going to try to keep on doing, actually.
Well, we'll talk more about your relationship, working relationship with Stefan in a little bit later on. But as for Qatar, it was the best possible start, wasn't it? Race 1, the gate dropped. You were leading almost immediately, 2nd corner, 3rd corner, and led for a couple of laps before finishing 4th.
Yeah, that was actually amazing. My start wasn't really good at all. I was about 5th or something, and then I could pass some riders. Then Ferrandis made a mistake. And yeah, I was leading a few laps, like I said, even with a cold, and it felt so great. I could go that speed quite easy and smooth. I just had to settle back after a few laps because of my cold to be ready also for the 2nd moto. But yeah, I feel really good on the bike at the moment, and that's what also working out on the track.
How different was Qatar this year? Because the first race wasn't quite dark.
Yeah, actually, I was on the line and I was like, last year we were racing the first race also on, it was dark already, so it was a little bit different. But actually, to be honest, while riding, you are focused on other things and with the track and your bike and yourself, so you don't really pay attention on it anymore. And by the end of the race, it was getting dark, but yeah, while riding, we couldn't see that so well, actually.
Yeah, and they have made alterations to the lights over the years we've been there. It's got better every year. So, like you say, you couldn't really notice the difference as the race went on. So that's important for every time we go back to Qatar, of course.
Yeah, of course. But for me, there is no issue at all. Like I was there now my 3rd year, and actually every year the lights were quite okay. And of course, it's a little bit different. Some holes and ruts are a little bit. Yeah, like there's kind of shadow, but that's how it is. But it's not dangerous or anything. So
You said your goal is to be up front, but to be up there from the very first round must have felt pretty good, hey?
Yeah, of course. It's always I don't know. The first race is always different because you don't know where you are.
Yeah.
Of course, you have your feeling. You know your lap times on the practice tracks and how you do compared to others on the pre-season races. But yeah, when the gate drops for the first time, it's always something else. But yeah, I was really happy to know that it worked out, and that's positive actually.
And Thailand was a much better visit for you this year than last year, particularly the 2nd race, because you started 7th, you got to 3rd, then 2nd, and then I think the last lap, Max Anstey passed you, you finished 3rd, but it was 2nd overall. So again, considering what happened 12 months ago, coming in, this year, must have been a massive personal achievement for you.
Yeah, of course. I came there with the mind from last year actually, where I really just crashed out in the first moto because of the heat and the humidity and everything. But this year I felt really strong. I came back after that cold from Qatar, and I knew I'm really fit. And actually, it was my plan to just follow the guys in the beginning a little bit, try to keep my energy in me and then just try to pass them when it's easier, when the guys can't pass you back. And that's what I did, and it seemed like it worked out in both motos. Just Max, he came back strong in the end of the second moto, but he had a DNF in the first one, so he had a little bit more time to rest. So that's always a key point as well. But overall, I felt really, really good.
How was the track there, actually?
Actually, I liked it. It was difficult for the guys to keep it wet and to water it nice and to rip it, but I have to say they did a really great job, and it was really good to ride. We had a couple of lines to pass, like inside ruts, outside berms, and actually it was one of, it was a good track, you know, for some good racing, and it wasn't one line, and it was really, I liked it a lot, and really technical, also some wave sections, not too dangerous, so it was all right.
So what have you been up to since being back to Europe then?
Since you got back?
Yeah, sand.
Just practicing.
Yeah, actually we came back, and then once the jet lag was gone, we were riding some sand, and that's what we did since Thailand, actually, getting used to the sand. And now we are riding here in Valkenswaard, and it's quite hard on their knees, but it's like it is, and I feel pretty good on it, so it should be good.
Well, have we got anything on social media there, Lisa?
Yeah, we have. Okay, from MX Justin. What areas of your riding technique have you improved since working with Stefan Everts?
That's a good question, but to work with Stefan is not only the riding thing. For me, that's actually a little bit less important, but he has a lot of other things what he tries to improve on us, like, especially in our minds, and there are 1,000 of things what have to, they have to be good to make one good package, but it's difficult to change our riding style. But of course he has some tips there and there, but it's not that I made a big change with, I don't know, line choosing things or my really riding style, but he just tries to give an input everywhere, and it's not actually not a big change on the riding part, let's say.
Okay.
Spoke to Ben Townley a few weeks ago, and he said, you're a great rider, but maybe you don't realize how good you are. I guess that maybe comes with your shy personality. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, I spoke with him as well. He's my teammate, and I like him. We understand each other really good. That's also a really positive thing. I like him to be in the team, and I can see a lot from him, because for me, he's an amazing rider. It's I don't know. It's a good question, but in the past, I never did that as a full pro, so I always went to school and everything together, so maybe that's why I developed like that. I don't know. It's always difficult to know, but for me it feels like this year is different. I have a complete other mind, actually, and it seems like it's working at the moment, and
it's a nice compliment.
Question. Yeah,
it's a nice compliment.
Yeah, for me too. It's a nice compliment. Actually, it's only positive. It can be also the opposite, which would be a lot worse. So that's just positive for me.
Okay, we are almost out of time with you though, Jeremy. But beginning of August, 6th and 7th of August, you have a home race in Switzerland this year. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, of course. It's going to be an amazing story, let's say, because for a few years there was no Swiss GP, so all the spectators, all my fans, actually the whole country is looking forward so much, because they really asked for it, and it's going to happen now, and especially with me and Kyo riding in GPs quite up front, let's say, it's amazing, and I hope it's going to be a good one.
Okay, well, look, Jeremy Seewer, Team Suzuki World MX2, thanks for joining us here today. All the best this weekend in the deep sand of Holland here at MXGP of Europe, and wish you all the best for the 2016 season.
Thanks.
Right, before we meet Antonio Cairoli, though, let's see how we can win on this weekend's competition. Okay, so this week we have a great opportunity for you to win with MotoMaster, and all you have to do is answer this simple question. Name a KTM rider, a Husqvarna rider, a Yamaha rider, and a Kawasaki rider from MXGP or MX2 that uses MotoMaster brake systems, and you could win a complete set of brakes for the bike of your choice. The prize includes an oversized 270mm flame front rotor, adapter bracket, brake pads, and rear flame rotor as well. So if you think you can name a KTM, Husqvarna, Yamaha, and Kawasaki rider from MXGP and MX2 that run MotoMaster brake systems, if you guess correctly, this fantastic prize could be yours. You will also win a copy of MXGP2, the brand new video game available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and the MXGP TV free access as well. So submit your answers via our Facebook page, and don't forget to like and share this post on our MXGP Facebook page, or for more information go to mxgp.com, and don't forget to like or follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at MXGP. Well, Tony Cairoli joins us, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, amongst all of the carnage there. But Tony, good to see you here. We're in Holland, Valkenswaard, I guess one of your favourite circuits. Not the best start to the season in terms of how years have gone on, but not a bad start. 28 points off the lead. It's kind of almost normal for you the last couple of years, isn't it, to not be leading the championship after the first round?
Yeah, actually only last year, so I'm not so used to it. I hope I don't have to be used to it longer. I feel good, you know, better, at least. That's clear. After Thailand, I was feeling already better. I started to get the feeling back on my thumb, and that's great, because I was feeling not so good to ride with a missing thumb a little bit. So now it's okay. I mean, for sure the sand is not is not my. I mean, this is not really a sand race anymore, because you can see the track is very hard and sharp bumps and this and that. But I still like a lot, and better than hardpack for me. So looking forward for the weekend. Yeah.
Qatar, though, 6th in the first race, but race 2 looked like it was a good race to be involved with. You and Bobby and Roman having a really nice battle there for quite a long time.
Yeah, for sure. I like to be on the battle again, but you know, I have no much condition on that race yet, because I was just on the bike for 10 minutes, for 10 days before the race. So
and that was because of pre-season injuries.
Yeah, because of the injury, and I had to stay off the bike for long, and with, you know, not so much with the ribs injury, but more with my neck injury that is still bothering me a little bit now, but it's getting solved, and that's the most important thing. Yeah.
But you seem to be fighting for every single position at that first round. You know, everywhere we looked and we saw Tony Cairoli, you were always in some kind of action in both races.
Yeah, I like to fight. You know, for sure. A lot of people are injured already, and in the front there is only, you know, at the moment Bobby, Roman and team are looks that they are on a strongest position than the rest. So even if they have bad start, they can come easily to the top 3. So it's not good for the championship, because you know, if there were more people involved, then it could mix a little bit up, and maybe the 28 points that I had was a little bit different, but it's okay like this. And I think you know, there is always time to gain points.
Although here there is a full lineup. So if you make a mistake in the first corner, there is more than 22 or 23 riders. You have 40 riders to come through now.
Yeah, for sure. That's
and the same with anybody else, if Roman or Tim or somebody else.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think it's really important to have a good start and be constant all the season, because it's going to be a really tough season. You know, everybody, a lot of, not only Roman and team, but a lot of other riders are getting better, and Jeremy, you know, and all the others. So I think it's going to be a cool season. Yeah.
Tony, the talk of Qatar was the performance of Tim Geiser. Were you surprised by what we've seen from him so far?
No, surprised, no. I mean, we see already last year from Roman that he was rookie, and he was already very good. But I mean, for winning the first race, it's difficult, you know. But for him, he was a world champion already. You know, you are not a world champion just because of a case. You know, something has to be there on your head that you are you are a champion. So it's not a big and actually, as Paul knows for sure, when you come from a small bike and you go on a big bike, you're immediately very fast, and it's important to keep it all the season.
Okay.
Well, you're almost back to normal in Thailand 1 week later. First race you led for 13 laps. Again, another great battle with Roman. How did you feel out there in Thailand?
No, I feel good. You know, like I said, the injury is getting better and better day after day, and I feel good with the bike. Still, you know, I have not much time because last year I moved from 350 to 450 just from one day to the other one, and we didn't test much. And now, yeah, we test a little bit this winter, but I was supposed to test more on the Italian Championship races that I couldn't do it. So we are still testing a lot because 450 for me is a long time that I didn't race for so many years. So it's a kind of different bike, but I like it. It was time to move from 350 to 450. So it was the right move, I think.
Was some of that inspired because of all the preseason hype that Ryan Villapoto was over a little bit and he was on a 450, or was it just something you felt ready to do?
No, I already felt that the tracks, it's a little bit better, with the 450 when you have a little bit more torque, and some places a little bit easier, to clear the jumps and you don't have to risk that much. With the 350, sometimes I was on the limit with some jumps, and if you're not 100% focused, then you can easily make a mistake, and it could cost you the heat race or the championship. But with the 450, I feel that there is a lot of to learn still, and how to ride this bike, because there's a lot of power on, and I'm not used to too much power from the previous championship. But I think it's a good choice. And
in Thailand, what happened in the second race?
Yeah, we had some technical problem. I had a very good all shot. I had to say, I was feeling great. Maybe for the first podium of the season, that was possible. But this problem, I had the bike stop, and the first 2 laps it continued to stop. So I don't know what really the problem was, and but I was kind of sketchy with that track, and so I take carefully the first 2 or 3 laps, and then I was in the back and trying to come closer, but I was also pretty tired because when you have to come from the back, you have to push a little bit extra hard, and at the moment my condition, it's not the top, so if I start good, then I can ride with my technique and rhythm, then I can stay with the front, but if I have to come from the back, then it's tough.
Yeah.
Well, last year was a difficult season, as we know, but this place has normally always been good to you. You've been on the podium quite a lot, won a few races here as well, but last year didn't quite go to plan, did it? That first race. We have the clip here, actually.
Yeah.
Just talk us through it again.
Yeah, it was going on the plan because I was coming. I was second, and I was coming with Gauthier. I was riding not so bad, but this is what happened, and then I lost some points already here, and then I hurt my wrist a little bit, and it's okay. It can happen one time. I had 5 years of good races here, so it can happen one time. But this year we try to be on the podium.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, almost time for the socials, but before that, I just want to know, what was it like meeting the Pope?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. Meeting such a great person he is, and inspire a lot of people, so you have the possibility to meet him. It's just fantastic, and we spent some words, and it was cool to see what that he knows a little bit about motorcycling and racing and stuff. And this
is he a motocross fan?
He's a little bit overall, fan of sport and
of life,
of everything.
Great experience.
How did that happen? Did you email him, or did Claudio email him? Dear Mr. Pope,
or just text him, maybe just
popegmail.com or something.
No, actually, Claudio have a lot of contacts in the Vatican because the father is doing a lot of work for the Vatican, and so we have quite a good access on this way. Yeah.
Oh, perks of the job. Right. Social media. From Martin Howe on Facebook, what got you into motocross and how did it all start for you?
What got me into motocross? I think it's for sure because of I had a motocross track close to my house, like only 3 or 4 kilometers out of my house, and my cousin was riding at that when I was 3 or 4 years old. So I hear bikes every day, and he was living was my neighbor, so I was living close to him, and I hear bikes and this and that. So just this, my father was not racing, and nobody from the family except my cousin, that was riding.
Okay. And also, what kind of music do you train to and relax to?
And I guess what your favorite music is as well. Is that MX Justin again, or is that just? I know we saw it up on the social anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I like I know, dance music, trance. Sometimes hardcore. So it's pretty music that that pumps you, especially before the races, and but also Italian singers, like Laura Pausini, Eros Ramazzotti. For relax, is nice music.
Not before the gate drop.
Also sometimes depends.
Chill out before the start of the race. Why
absolutely. Well, look, Tony Cairoli, Rebel KTM Factory Racing, we are out of time here. But before we meet, thanks for coming in as well, by the way, but before we meet Josh Coppins, our third and final guest, Qatar was about a month ago, and Courtney Duncan, a young 20-year-old Kiwi on a Yamaha, took the desert by storm. We caught up with her earlier this weekend to ask her all about it and her plans for the upcoming season.
It was awesome to be there to experience it all, and like you say, it was the first GP I'd ever raced, and then also the first GP I'd ever gone to as well. So you have the schedule, the tracks, the competition and all that, that's completely different, and you're up against a new challenge. So in that I enjoyed, and just glad to carry on the series and be here at Valkenswaard. Yeah, I was happy to go 1-1 at Qatar. I think it was, for me, it was a solid start. It wasn't, my performance on the bike wasn't all that good, but like you say, I mean, it was completely new for me. So to go out there in my first GP and go 1-1, it was something to build from, and you know, to start the series off like that was good. Yeah, so the deal was to race the full series now. Coming into Qatar, we didn't really know where we sit, and obviously need some more extra support and stuff to keep going, because it costs a lot coming from New Zealand. So obviously got all the deals pretty much put in place. So I'm stoked to be here, and really happy to be here at Valkenswaard and giving my first European GP a go. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to riding the sand. I can't wait, to be honest with you. I really enjoy the sand, but then in saying that, the sand in New Zealand compared to the sand here in Europe is completely different. But I spent 3 days on the week this week riding Honda Park and Lommel to try to get used to it as much as I can before the race, and I'm happy with the bike and the way we're riding, so I look forward to it for sure.
Well, that was Courtney Duncan yesterday talking to us about Qatar and, of course, the upcoming season, and she is here. We'll talk to Josh Coppins in just a moment. But a quick reminder, what's coming up a little later on in the year, in October, the Super Motocross Riders and Manufacturers Cup in the Veltins Arena in October. It's, of course, where the manufacturers can field their own teams from Europe and riders from the US as well. So don't forget, go onto the website and have a look at that, because it's going to be a great race inside the Veltins Arena. What, 55,000 people, I think, in that stadium there. It's a closed roof stadium, so make sure you go to our website, and here's more information about that. So this takes place inside the Veltins Arena on October the 8th in Germany. Go to MXGP.com, look on the calendar on the right-hand side, and you'll see just below the Motocross of Nations, click tickets for the event. We hope to see you there on the 8th of October. Well, Josh Coppins joins us now, and Josh Coppins, of course, is a former rider in the Motocross World Championship, former runner-up as well, and now a team owner in New Zealand, the JCR Yamaha team manager, team owner, but his rider over there in New Zealand, Courtney Duncan, we heard from her just a moment ago, and she's out here this weekend. So, Josh, I'm guessing that's the reason why we're seeing you here in Valkenswaard this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. So I've had to support Courtney, and I couldn't make the first round. We had a New Zealand Championship, and we have Dean Ferris riding there and some Kiwi boys as well. So I was busy with them, and Courtney deal sort of came up late, but obviously here to try to give her as much help as we can.
And I mean, it's been a pretty hectic week for you as well. You came in from Japan, what, Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, arrived Friday. Like I said, this Courtney sort of got put onto the team quite late, and she was coming off a couple of years of injuries and then just burst onto the scene, and she was doing great. And it was always the plan to come here, but the plan wasn't for me to run her. The plan was for someone here to run her. So
yeah, because she was supposed to come over last year, maybe rode Matterley in France, and then obviously opted for knee surgery.
Yeah, she hurt her knee playing basketball, and she was out. So the idea was to, you know, I knew she was good, so I knew she'd do well, but the idea was to show her there and then potentially put a deal together for this year.
Did you watch Qatar live, the first round? Were you able to?
I followed it on Twitter. It was about 3 in the morning, and that day we had race day, so I was pretty tired, and I followed pretty much everything. A lot hinged on that. You know, it was sort of coming evident that I was going to have to run her, so I knew I sort of made a commitment to her and her family, you know, that I'd take it on board. So a lot hinged on those results, and in order to get the budget to be here now. So it was a pretty tough race for her, but she did well.
But knowing WMX and knowing Courtney as a racer in New Zealand, what were your expectations for her going into Qatar, and were you surprised by how well she performed, or not, maybe?
No, I wasn't surprised at all. Anything other than a win was going to be disappointing, to be honest. I knew her speed was good, and I knew she was fast, and like I said, a couple of years with injuries, people forget about you pretty quick in any sport.
Yeah.
And but I knew she had what it took, and we did a lot of work, and she was ready, and we were a little bit lucky with the New Zealand summer to be able to work away and get her ready, while her competition was in the cold here.
Well, you said New Zealand summer. She's been in Europe for 10 days now. How is she settling into that European life and the weather as well?
Yeah, she's she wants to race. She loves racing. She is a racer. So she likes being here because it's enabling her to do a job and do what she's great at. So she hasn't had a bad word to say about anything. She did say it was a bit chilly, but that was
a bit chilly.
But I was talking to you yesterday, and you said she's actually enjoyed her time here the last 10 days, maybe the way of life, or maybe accessibility for everything's so close. So how does that change then in terms of your plan, her plan, going forward for the rest of the season? Because talking to her in Qatar, she didn't know, first of all, she was going to be here, and then she was. And then I guess logistically, does she go back after this race and then come back, stay a bit, or fly back after every round? How's that going to work now?
So basically, for those of you that have done the trip to New Zealand, it's pretty tough. It's as far on the other side of the world as you get. So it takes a week to recover either side. So originally we were planning 3 trips, but that means we lose 6 weeks. We lose a week either side of each time. So that's a lot of time off. So this trip, she settled in really well to Europe. So now it's a matter of, I think we'll probably only make 1 trip. She'll come to Germany and stay for the rest. Okay. She really wants to improve in the sand. She really wants to be challenged. And so, it's a matter of me trying to make sure the budget's okay in order for her to be here. And at the moment, she flies back next week. She's got some TV commitments in New Zealand and then comes to JCR to prepare for Germany, and then after that, I think she'll end up staying over here permanently.
Well, she's ridden Lommel, she's ridden Honda Park, 2 tracks that a lot of the guys ride during the week. How did she find it out riding with everybody this week?
I think she found it pretty busy. She goes to the track, and at my track, we're always on our own. It's maybe her teammates, but some quite often on her own. So, and then her local club track where she's from, she's always often got one riding partner or whatever. So seeing 100-odd riders and 100-odd good riders, that was a bit of a shock to her. So, but no, she loved it. She enjoyed the challenge and enjoyed the track, and I think she'll do well today.
Well, talking about challenges, obviously there's no bigger challenge after racing than taking on your own team. How's it shaping up out there for you? How are the riders? Who are you riders?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I thought it would be a lot easier than it is. I got a lot more respect from my old teams and the team managers, and I think I was a pretty easy rider to work with, but
that's not what
they
Fabio
all say
said.
That.
But hey, there's been I'm not going to lie, there's been a few times I thought, what the hell have I done? But I'm very lucky, got some fortunate to have some great companies behind me. I've got a great relationship with Yamaha, and they enabled me they pretty much just let me get on and do my job. So I can't complain, but there are some hard times. The riders, we have Dean Ferris in MX1, Kane Lamont MX2, and we've got obviously Courtney as a support rider because we're doing this. She missed some of our championship, but she won some races for us this year. So it's a bit of a diverse mix, but I take care of all sorts of things, the junior program, and basically take care of all Yamaha's off-road racing activity there, and I also work closely with Craig Dack Racing in Australia, and we share riders, etc., like Dean.
Well, before we hit social, just really quickly, how was Courtney in time training then? Because obviously that started and finished while we came on air.
Yeah, she was first. So she got out and got a lap in pretty quick, and then just worked on race speed after that, and I managed to get around the track and have a look at some lines, and to be honest, I think she's just going to have to be really patient in the race and just take her time. And it's a lot of things that are new to her, even just getting roosted with a whole heap of sand and trying to make a pass at once. She's just not used to that. So that's why I'm here, just to talk her through all that stuff. And we already got on pole, which was better than Qatar. And she's a racer. She's not a qualifier. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right. We've just got time for one social question, though, because we are almost out of time. Okay.
From MX450 K9 unit, he says, have you ever thought about having a team in MXGP?
Yeah, I have. To be honest, I don't have the sponsors enabled to do that right now. Yeah. If I did, I would do it 100%. My family, my kids live in Europe, and I'm based in New Zealand, so I come to Europe a lot. So if the opportunity came up, I'd be here and and do it.
Watch this space then.
Absolutely. Well, Josh Coppins, thanks for joining us here. We are out of time, but thanks also to Jeremy Seewer and Tony Cairoli as well. We wish them all the best. Of course, Josh on his new challenge as well back home in New Zealand, and Courtney Duncan leading the Women's Motocross World Championship. We're all out of time here. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time when we go overseas again to Argentina. Thanks for watching.